El Paso County, is that right?
That is correct. Yes,
And we presented a copy of your mother's will dated June 13th, 2014. As far as you know, was that your mother's last will and testament?
yes,
And there's a need for administration of the estate, is that correct?
yes,
And Dolores Macias was single and had 2 children, is that right?
yes,
And there's an approximately 318,000 potential claim for Medicaid, and that's why we are requesting a dependent administration today, is that right?
that is correct.
And the only asset of the estate is the house, and it's valued at 150,000, is that right?
Yes,
Specifically, after signing the will on June 13th, 2014, did she ever get married or divorced or have any children?
no,
And although you and your sister are the beneficiaries of the will, the only asset of the estate is the house, of which you are the sole beneficiary, correct?
yes,
And you are the named executor in the will?
yes,
Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
no,
Have you ever filed for bankruptcy?
no,
Are you willing to faithfully serve as administrator of your mother's estate and follow the terms of her will and the orders of this court?
yes.
That's all I have for this witness, Your Honor.
Go ahead and call the first interested witness.
Okay. I'll call Mr. Bill Whitman.
Go ahead.
Mr. Whitman, can you state your full name for the record and how you were related to Miss Dolores Macias?
Yes, my formal name is William Bill Whitman, and Mrs. Macias Dolores was my aunt, maternal aunt.
And how long did you know her your whole life?
My whole life, yes, I'm 75 right now.
And how did you become familiar with her handwriting and signature?
Well, you know, basically through the years, through greeting cards, birthday cards, Christmas cards, graduation. Most recently, unfortunately, when my mother passed away in 2008, and my wife and I were going through my mother's house and organizing and cleaning things, I ran across a document that I had never seen before, and it was I don't know if it's called the title or bill of sale or of a residence that all 4 siblings owned on Arizona Street here in El Paso. I had never seen that before, and I had all their signatures. My mother, my 2 uncles, and my aunt Dolores' signature was there also. Like I said, I hadn't seen it, and again, that was the last document that I saw.
Okay, so you've become familiar with it through cards over the years and the deed that you've seen.
Yes, exactly.
And you've reviewed a copy of the will, which we've submitted to the court, is that correct?
I have, yes.
And do you have a copy in front of you right now?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, does the signature on the bottom of the page and specifically on the bottom of page 4, does that appear to be the signature of Miss Dolores Macias?
It does. Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have for this witness, Your Honor.
Call the next one.
My next witness is Miss Barbara Whitman.
Go ahead.
Miss Whitman, can you state your full name for the record and your relationship to Miss Dolores Macias?
I'm Barbara Romero Whitman, and she was my aunt through marriage.
And how long did you know her?
Over 35 years.
And how did you become familiar with her handwriting and signature?
Mother's Day cards, mainly her to me, Christmas cards that she would mail. And then I also saw the deed when we were at my mother-in-law's house.
Okay. And have you reviewed a copy of the will that we've submitted to this court?
Yes.
And you have it in front of you now. Does the signature on the will appear to be that of Miss Dolores Macias?
Yes, yes, it is.
That's all I have for this witness, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Whitman, that house that we're speaking about that's located on Arizona Street, was the Ms. Dolores Macias owner or her mother owner, or?
Let's see what I can remember, Judge. It was Dolores Macias's parents that were the owners. And then when they passed, let's see, when my grandmother passed, all four siblings became what heirs, I guess, I believe, is that the
Right.
correct? Which is my mother, my aunt Dolores Macias, another uncle and another aunt, all four. And then they sold that house,
Oh,
and that's where I saw the deed, which I had never seen before.
okay, so the house was sold. I was just
Yes.
wondering, part of it was gonna be part of the estate.
No,
Okay.
no, not at all, not at all.
So basically, Ms. Nemers, the only thing that's in the estate is the house?
Correct, Your Honor.
Where is the claim now? It's just, you just have notice of it?
Correct, yes.
All right. All right, so the dependent administration will be granted. Bond is set at, ma'am, can you put $1,000 cash bond? It'll be given back to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Nemers, make sure that every thing you do and you explain it to your client that you need to do is whether you're going to fight the claim by the state, attorney's fees. You have to get permission by the court on on dependent administrations, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, have you paid any attorney's fees? Ma'am,
Yes, she has. She has
Yes.
paid
I'm
off.
sorry, I didn't hear you say
okay, how much have you paid?
whatever. I don't have the.
More or less.
About 4,000.
Okay, so you need to get approval for that, okay, Ms. Nemers? For dependent administrations.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm gonna expect that application along with an itemized so I can review it. Where do
Okay.
you live, Mr. Whitman and Mrs. Whitman?
We live at 10600 Brian Mooney, Judge in El Paso, 79935, close to Hanks High School.
Okay, and Ms. Nemers, any reason why you asked for a Zoom?
Your Honor, Miss Castro has difficulty maneuvering with her wheelchair, and her husband also helps her. And he has a bad back, so it was more convenient to have them come here than to go through the parking garage security and in the courthouse.
I have multiple sclerosis.
No, but I'm just wondering because it would have been the same thing, you going to their office or over here, I mean. Security is no problem, all right. Okay, so anything else, Ms. Nemers?
No, that's it, Your Honor.
Bond is gonna set at $1,000 cash bond. The court after hearing testimony will admit
I think he froze.
Okay.
Let's wait and see if he comes back. He left. So what the last thing he said was that bond was going to be set at $1,000 cash bond, and then he was starting to pronounce his order when he froze. So I'll remind him once he arrives if he doesn't remember where he was at. Let me go check on him, okay?
Okay.
Ms. Nemers, who is the judge?
It's Judge Gamboa.
Gumbo, okay. Just
He's
curious.
arriving.
You hear me? Everything fine?
Honor.
Yes,
We'll admit the copy of the will of Dolores Macias into probate as a dependent administration. Ma'am, just remember that anything you need to do, you need to get permission from the court, and Ms. Nemers will guide you through those steps. And also, I need some documents from you, and they will take care of that, okay?
Okay, thank you very much, Judge.
Ms. Nemers will await your proof of death, if you already file it, and your the order. I don't think I got an order.
Okay, we'll be sure to get that right over.
Wait a minute. No, we got the order, and I'm gonna sign it right now. I'm just gonna fill in with $1,000 cash bond. And then the oath, and then you post the bond and get your letters. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Your Honor.
Judge.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.